You're moving. Scary and fun. Think about this. You are about to start the most exciting thing you've ever done in your life, and that's why you're scared. Your mind relies on patterns and something predictable, and you've got nothing even close to that. That's okay. I'm 40. I've moved 45 times in my life. I've reinvented myself over and over again, and I'm going to be here with you the whole way. So don't get scared. You might be going off to school for the first time. You might be moving across the planet for the first time. Maybe you're moving across the planet again. Maybe you're going home. Maybe you're going to somewhere you can't even pronounce. Maybe you're going somewhere where you speak the language and somewhere maybe you don't speak the language. Maybe you're very young. Maybe you're a lot older. What I want to help you with is there is a baseline that is internal to you called your frequency. Think of it like this. It's a beat. It's a vibration, and it's real. And I'm going to help you find yours and maintain yours so that no matter what happens, you're going to be all right. I've done it, and I am not the greatest person in the world. I can tell you that right now. So trust me, listen to this video, and know you're going to be all right. I'm 100% sure. You're there at the airport, at the moving truck, in the car, on the way, and all you can feel is your heart in your throat. You know that bit where you keep chewing a little bit because you're kind of trying to not cry because it's kind of scary and the entire world's turning upside down? New job, new culture, new language, new world, new friends, and what you've always known is going to change. There are going to be days where this sucks. There are. There are going to be days where you wish you could just go home, where you wish you could go back to what you knew, where you wish that you could just undo everything. And then there's going to be a day where that thing, that H word, that dangerous, haunting H word, home, it changes. The definition changes. What you think of it as changes. You no longer say, hey, I'm going to go back home. You say, I'm going to go on a visit to see my old friends. I want to give you a couple of tools so that when you do that, you take that part of yourself with you and you don't forfeit yourself at all. It is an unpleasant truth, but it is a reality that the entire world can change overnight because the only constant in this universe is change. There is nothing else that will always happen other than change. So you're wired for this. You are already good at this. You just don't realize how good at it you already are. It's really easy to misunderstand a new place, a new job, a new function, a new family dynamic as something that needs to be expressed internally. Like once I'm used to this, once I'm good at my job, I'll feel settled. Once I know how this language works, I'll feel settled. That's not true. The entire world can change overnight. It really can. Martha Graham once said, the world changes on an idle Tuesday. And something about that idle Tuesday idea has just always stuck with me because you don't expect the world to change on a Tuesday. You expect it to happen on a Saturday or New Year's or a holiday or your birthday, but it doesn't. It doesn't wait for you. So don't look around for a solution. Look internally. You're going to be around a new culture, a new corporate hierarchy, new classes, new students, new friends, new people around you. That chaos, that adrenaline, that anxiety, that fear, it seems like it's coming from the outside, but it's not. It actually lives inside of you. So be patient with yourself. Be graceful. Understand that a lot of that self-talk, that mind that's running, it's because you're displaced and you're looking for a rhythm. You're looking for a pattern. You're looking for something where you know, well, at least tomorrow I know this thing is happening. And you don't have any of that right now. That means everything is happening the exact way it's supposed to. Don't be discouraged. I have a solution for you. The first thing you need to do is you need to stop waiting for the world around you to make sense in order for things to stop feeling chaotic, in order for things to not feel fearful. That isn't going to happen. We all make the same mistake. We think once we have things settled, once we have things worked out, I just need to know the subways. I'm in New York now. Once I know exactly what the subways goes, I'm good. The chaos you're feeling is coming from inside. That's okay. It's normal. It's our pre-wiring. It's our survival instinct. It's the way that we are naturally supposed to function. And everybody around you has had their own version of it. Don't be fooled into thinking everybody has it figured out, because no one actually does. The older I get, the truer that becomes. So let's develop a little bit of a practice. Don't wait for the world around you, because the world around you is going to take control. It's going to run off with you, and before you know it, it's going to define who you are to you. You're going to spend your entire time figuring out, how does this hierarchy work? What's popular here? What's cool here? What do people like? What do they wear? What do they eat? How do they talk to each other? What's their vernacular? Don't get caught in that. You're going to learn those things whether you like it or not. You have to define you, and you have to find out what is your baseline, what is your frequency, right? How do you operate in this new environment? And the best way to do that is to take a practice with you before you leave where you are, before you get to where you're going to be. If you look at a bay full of boats and you stare at it for long enough, you will know which one is anchored and which one is not. You will know which one is taken care of and which is not, because the ones that are anchored, they don't float around too much, and the ones that are, they capsize, and they capsize pretty quick. In fact, they capsize as quickly as the weather changes. And unless you're some sort of Greek god, and I don't deny you that, you can't affect the weather. And if you figure out how to do that, share it with the rest of us, because I think it might be really beneficial and kind of revolutionary. So, what are we going to do? We're going to take our self with us. We're going to take our anchor points with us. So you wake up. You don't recognize the ceiling. You don't recognize the walls. You don't really recognize anything, because it's all new. And it takes 2 or 3 minutes to realize, oh, right, I moved. I'm here now. I'm somewhere else. I'm in a new world, but I'm still me. So what I suggest you do is you develop this practice, and what I call it, what me and my wife call it, is a weather report. Sounds super simple, and it is. 3 parts, okay? First, how did you sleep? Second, what is your part in how you slept? Third, how do you just feel? So let's say you go on a walk in the morning. Let's say you've got 5 minutes. Somebody, your friend, your partner, your son or daughter, anybody, or maybe yourself, you ask, weather report. And that is an indication that this is now your time. You talk about how you slept. Slept poorly. I woke up several times. I'm not really sure why. My part in it is I was up until 2:30 watching rom-coms, crying into a bowl of ice cream because my life is going to change. And by the time I finally went to bed, that dairy and that sugar had worked up such a monstrous stomachache. I actually don't know if I ever fell asleep. So yeah, I didn't sleep so well, and I was up a lot, and that's my part in it. How do I feel? Nervous, scared, anxious, tired, really grateful to be alive. Also up for this adventure, but I don't know. I don't know my head from my butt right now. And then you say clear skies. And then you say weather report. And now it's the other person's turn to talk about how they slept. Oh, I slept super well. And my part in it is that I made a basic chicken and rice dinner with no spices and barely any salt at around 6 o'clock. I was down at around 6:20, put on a funny show, laughed a little bit, did my wind down at around 7:30. No one does this, by the way. This is like the perfect utopian scenario that I'm drawing off of years of therapy. And then I went to bed. I read a little bit of a book I love. And then by about 8:30, I was ready to close my eyes. And at 9, I was off. And at 10 p.m., REM sleep took over. And I'm pretty sure I was a new human being by 4 a.m. So I went to the gym. Yeah. I don't even know how to say that because I've never done it. And how do I feel? I feel energized. I feel invigorated. I feel like I am full of courage and ready to take on the day. You know what? I'm not just going to grab a bull by the horns. I'm going to find all the bulls and grab all their horns and let them know who the boss is. Clear skies. Did you get the practice? There's no way to do this wrong. The person who is not talking, the person who is listening, all they're doing is just being there. Look, it's the morning. They may be tired. When you're listening, there may be moments where you're not hearing everything. You're kind of dozing off a little bit. You don't talk. You just listen. And if you miss something, you don't go, wait, what? If the person gets tight and starts getting a little aggressive, you don't calm them down. This is their time. And they are going to make sure that they do that for you because this is your time. You do that every single morning, you've established the baseline. You've established a sense of self. You have taken your internal baseline, your frequency, and you've set it for the day. That doesn't mean it's not going to be affected. Of course it will. That doesn't mean that the world you don't know yet isn't also still intimidating. But throughout that day, throughout the next day, the weeks, the months, the years, you're going to realize that every morning I get a little time to just be with myself, to recognize how yesterday ended, how today started, and how I'm feeling about it. And I'm not alone because I have me. And if you're lucky enough to have somebody there with you, you have them and they have you. And the one thing you can't do is you can't turn on the weather because that's who you are. That's what you are. You can't judge it. You can't change it. You accept it and you roll with it. Because the entire world does change overnight. But that change happened in a split second. It didn't build up in a split second. It built up over time. And that's what you're establishing here. It's a baseline so that you are always in touch with yourself and the people that you consider your family. This is a priceless, priceless practice. In the 45 times I've moved, by the time now, when I'm 40 years old, it's been 3 different languages, 4 technically, but I was a baby and I didn't speak Swedish. It has been 6 different states. It's been 4 different countries. It's been several different careers. But this practice, this keeping in touch with yourself, understanding that there's a through line to things, that there's a meaning to the things that you do, and you stack one good day on top of each other, that's how you build a life. Don't get lost in grind culture. Don't get lost in you got to put in more sweat equity than everybody else. No. There are people who do that, and it yields results for them. And it may yield results for you, but it's not going to matter if you forget yourself in the mix. The most successful people I know, the people who went off and created apps and .com businesses right after high school, right after college, every one of those people, to a man, woman, and child, no longer talk to the friends they started those companies with, even if their offices are next door to each other, because they lost themselves in this. They forfeit their own frequency for the sake of the whole. That may feel like it's selfless, but it's not, because it's usually motivated by money or some sort of personal gain because, hey, I'll get this money and I can do all this other stuff later. Or be smart about it. Take yourself with you, be graceful to yourself, and understand that just because the world changes doesn't mean that you have to. Because you can be the control group, since your entire world, all of the things that you know, have now become the variable. So I invite you to do a weather report. Do it with yourself, do it with your dog, with your cat, with your lizard, or whatever else you have around you. Do it into a mirror. I have done that. My wife and I can be in completely different countries, sometimes 9 time zones apart, and we will FaceTime each other and do it, or we will record a voice memo and do it. I am sure every single person listening to this right now knows at least one person. Now, they may not be going on the journey with you. That's totally possible. But they will do a weather report with you because it's going to benefit both of you and it's going to enrich both of your lives. So Go give it a shot. Try committing to it. It's gonna give you an incredible benefit. My name is Thomas Ohrstrom. Go build that blueprint. Live your life. It's yours to live. I'll see you next week.